Hey everybody, it's Sid here again from the Sid Chase Group, and we're talking to you today from Sid Chase Capital, our investment firm, our educational side of the house. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about 5 different sources of income in retirement. Okay, so basically this conversation or this tip is for folks that are within a year or two, maybe 5 years of retirement, and are starting to look at what they need to be doing with the money that they've already saved, knowing or hoping that they have enough to get through the next 15 or 20 years, depending on how long they live and what time it was, what age they actually retired at. So I'm not going to write them all down, but they will be below at the bottom. You'll be able to find them. But I did put this up here because on number 5, I'm going to actually add in some of my own stuff that I'm doing for my retirement, even though I don't plan on retiring anytime soon. So number 1 is annuities. I'm not a real big fan of them, but they are pretty safe. They normally don't beat inflation all the time, but our inflation's actually been pretty low, so probably for a while now they have been beating. So basically what that is, an immediate annuity. So basically it's where you already have a lump sum of money. Maybe you're retiring from a company, or you've had a bunch of cash that you've saved up, and you want to put that in an annuity. So you put it in there, and basically what that does is it produces an ongoing stream of income for you. Okay, so you may not want to put the whole lump sum in there. You don't want to put all the eggs in one basket type of idea, but that's a really good safe place to start. In another video, we're going to talk about infinity banking or family banking using whole life insurance, which is a whole different story, but it's more geared towards the younger generation getting started. So I'll cover that one. But annuities, if you're at the situation where you're at right now and you're 3 to 5 years away, annuities is something you want to take a look at. Strategic, systematic withdrawals. Okay, so only withdraw what you need for your bills. Okay, so by the time you hit retirement, you want to be as close to being debt-free as possible, if not completely 100% debt-free. And you only want to take out enough money, especially if you think you're might be a little bit short, right, for the first few years, or maybe the market's down or something like that. That happened to one of my family members. He retired 2 years later. We had the 2008 crash. He lost about half of his portfolio because he had it all on the stock market and all basically in one type of sector and an asset. And so he had to go back to work for a while and get his money. So he wasn't taking more out than he needed to take out, right? So that has to do with budgeting your life, right? So no great expenditures, try to have your car paid off, things like that. The other thing is bonds. I am a fan of bonds. I do trade bonds occasionally in our hedge fund that we have. They're a great safety net, so it's kind of like a hedge against whatever I'm doing, being more aggressive in the market. I use bonds to kind of hedge that aggressiveness. So, but what I'm specifically talking about now is what they call laddered bonds. So you purchase multiple bonds that mature at staggering intervals, right? So you stagger them out so they mature at different times, right? So having bonds making interest at staggering them out like that allows a consistent cash flow for you. Okay. Same thing with certificates of deposit or CDs. Again, not a huge fan of these. I prefer to be in the bonds and annuities, but again, if you want to do the CD or you want to spread that diversification out a little bit, you can do the exact same thing with a CD as you did with your laddered bonds. So number 5 is rounding out the mix, right? So these are things that you should have been doing 5 years to 10 years or even longer before you get to your retirement, right? And it depends on really what it is you're looking at doing. So these are things that you could have done prior, and by the time you get to your retirement, they should be totally 100% positive cash flow vehicles for you, meaning the debt is already gone from them. Okay, so number 1 is obviously real estate. Okay, a couple of things with real estate. You could look at residential or commercial Residential is 4 units and down, okay? Commercial can be 5 units and up. It could be hotels, niche hotels, branded hotels, or flagged hotels they call them, either one of those. So that's something that you would probably start, 10, 15 years before you want to retire or sooner, so that they're all completely paid off by the time that you get there. Okay, so that's one of them. The other number 2 is franchises. Franchisees. So franchises, there's thousands of different types of franchises, from ones that you're completely hands off to ones that you need to be completely involved in. So depending on whether you're a professional or not, what I consider a professional is anybody that's working full time, right? You may not have time to go work a franchise, but you might be able to find one that you could get somebody else to do. So like way back when, we were looking at Subway franchises, and we had an opportunity to buy 6 of them in upstate New York. And we didn't go through with the deal because it took so long to go through it. I had realized at that time that I was not going to be staying in upstate New York, that I needed to move, and so I decided against doing that. But that's something that you could look at. The thing with Starbucks, they prefer you to work at least for a year or 2, and then when you start to add on the other ones, then you would find managers to do that, and then you would manage the managers. Okay, so franchises. There's also affiliate programs. They run from Amazon stuff to anything on the internet you can find that you can be an affiliate to. There's silver and gold things that you can do with that. There's all kinds. So affiliate thing, that's something that you could run pretty easily, especially once you get it set up. And speaking of that, number 4, you could do Amazon sales. You could do an Amazon shop or eBay shop or something like that, where you have a product or you have somebody else's product, right? And you're not having any inventory at all, and you have a great site. You hire somebody to do the social networking, promote your site for you. You start to get followers. You're talking about maybe a certain subject on a certain project, say outdoor survival or kayaking or mountain climbing or whatever it may be. And that's stuff that you could actually do on YouTube yourself. If you're a survivalist, for example, you could do your videos on the weekends or camp out overnight and video that, and then talk about the products that you have on your shop that you could possibly sell. That's all stuff that, minus the camping outside and doing the video, everything else is kind of hands off for you. Okay, or you could do buy a business, an existing. Okay, so same thing. It's similar to this one here, right? Or the affiliates or the franchises. But this is what I'm really talking about here is maybe a car wash, or laundromat, or find a business that is at its tipping point, right? And just needs an influx of cash. You come in as a silent partner. You give them the cash they need, and for that cash, they give you 5, 10, 15, whatever it's going to be, % of their company. That's pretty simple. You're completely hands off. You're not doing the daily grind, right? That's pretty simple. Hey, another thing you could do too is start a landscaping business or a lawn mowing business. Well, I'm not mowing the lawns, neither am I. Go get 2 other people to do it for you that you can rely on. Set them up, get the equipment, let them go, fund them, and you get a percentage of what they're doing. Pretty simple. Okay, guys? So those are the 5 sources of income for retirement, and I just gave you a whole bunch more. They will be at the bottom. Like I said earlier, they'll be at the bottom. You'll be able to read them all, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them. We'll answer you. You can also leave them on invest@sidchase.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and sidchase.com. I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy. Thank you.